Undersea Cables, a turbo boost to internet capacity. This is about the internet connectivity for India and about undersea cables which are deployed for internet connectivity across continents and things like that. So let's just check undersea cables. So what exactly do they mean? Undersea cables, also known as submarine communication cables, are fiber optic cables that carry data between continents. They are the backbone of internet, carrying over 95% of the world's data. 95% of the world's data. They're made of glass or plastic strands that transmit data using light signals. Oh, the cables are protected by layers of insulation, steel armor, and a plastic coating. Repeaters are installed along the cable to amplify the signal. Cable laying ships lay the cables on the ocean floor. The cables are sometimes buried in shallow waters to protect them from fishing and anchors. True. The process of laying the cables can take months or years, okay? How they are used: cables carry email, web pages, video calls, and more. They also process financial transfers through SWIFT systems. Nice. The first successful underwater cable was laid in 1847 across the Rhine, 100 years before India was independent, 175 years ago. Have been used since the 1850s, initially to carry telegrams. Amazing. So this is the cross section of the shore end of the modern submarine communications cable. Damn. So this is polythene, then they have mylar tape, then they have standard steel wires, then they have aluminium water barrier, then they have polycarbonate, then they have copper or aluminium tube, then they have petroleum jelly, then they have optical fibers. Wow. So the optical fiber has 7 layers of coating. Pretty cool. They are laid using special cable layer ships such as the modern Rene Descartes, operated by Orange Marine. Look at this, looks so cool. Eastern Telegraph Company network in 1901. Dotted lines across the Pacific indicate planned label cables laid in 1902 to 1903. Oof, look at that. Very cool. So massive growth in connectivity demand in India, driven by the widespread adoption of smartphones and affordable data rates. Just to let you know the numbers, let's just check the number of smartphone users in India. India had around 659 million smartphone users as of 2022. This is about 46% of the country's population. India is the second largest smartphone market after China. The pandemic accelerated the adoption of technology in India, with phone usage increasing from 70% of adults in 2020 to 85% in 2023. This is actually very true. My mother also actually learned how to use a smartphone. She had basically completed her typing courses and things like that. So she had worked on a typewriter and things like that when she was probably 20-25. But after that, she didn't have a smartphone and things like that. So she got a smartphone a few years ago itself, but she was just using it to pick calls and do these small activities. But she wasn't checking WhatsApp or any other social media and things like that. But I introduced her to WhatsApp, how to use more technology, and because when everything went online during COVID, everybody got accustomed to it slowly. And my mom also currently has gotten used to it. She sends messages on the family group and things like that. So it's fun, and this is very true. Adoption of technology in India increasing from 70% of adults to 85% in 2023, and I'm 100% sure that 15% which is added is mostly women. The smartphone market in India is expected to grow rapidly in the next decade. The growth of the smartphone, has led to the Smartphones and affordable data rates. So I'll show you the number of internet users also, bro. Internet users in India. You show it first. There you go. As of January 2024, India had 751 million internet users. This makes India the second most populated country in the world with internet access. 751 million internet users, which is essentially the population of Europe. Yeah, all of Europe. It's more than that. All of Europe. India's internet usage, average monthly data consumption per user has increased from 0.27 GB in 2014-15 to 20.27 GB in March 2024, which is increased more than, bro. That's 80-fold increase. 80-fold increase in just 10 years. And this is majorly because of Jio, which started in 2016. December of 2016, and took over. There are now over 850 million internet users in India, according to the latest data from Internet and Mobile Association of India. Oh wait, what is that? Internet and Mobile Association of India. First time I'm hearing about it. Okay, is a not-for-profit industry body representing the interests of online and mobile value-added services industry. It is registered under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. Was felt the need was for an association of internet companies in India was felt in early 2000. Okay, this is not a government body. This is internet in India. Number of internet users in the world, let's check. 67.4% of the population uses internet today. Look at this graph. 1995 it was 0.7% of the world. That was when the www boom in 1990s to 1995. Look at that. And it was majorly the US, 9.2% that time. And then so Russia was behind, then Russia caught up in 2014. They were almost at par with the US, and the world was slowly catching up. World was half. And then they slowly caught up. So world 67.4%, Russia 92.2% of all the population uses. 550 crores of internet users are there in the world, and 75 crores are from India. Okay, has led to increased capacity requirements and construction of undersea cables. Is going to meet this demand. At present, India is connected by 18 international undersea cable systems that land at 14 distinct stations across 5 major cities. These systems collectively provide a capacity of about 138.55 terabits per second, with approximately 111.11 terabytes per second actively utilized. Wow. Undersea Cables Map India. Yeah, Submarine Cable Map India. Telegeography. Thank you for this information. Let's decline. Okay, so it's across 5 major cities in India is what they told. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So you have Tuticorin, Thoothukudi. Then you have Trivandrum, Thiruvananthapuram. Then you have Kochi, Chennai, and Mumbai. So you have like 3 in Tamil Nadu, 1 in Kerala, and 1 in Mumbai, which is basically letting all this entire country speak to people abroad, everywhere, and it's providing internet to the entire country, because 95% of the world's internet is carried by these undersea cables. Goes all across Africa. Okay, India is connected by 18 international undersea cable systems that land at 14 distinct stations across 5 major cities. Okay, The future scenario of undersea optic cables, the unseen backbone of the global internet, looks promising with upcoming projects such as the 2 Africa Pearls cable and the India-Europe Xpress. These projects are expected to significantly enhance capacity. Moreover, with projects from Google, Meta, Amazon and others gaining momentum, collectively, these initiatives could potentially turbocharge India's current internet capacity over the short to long term. What is that 2 Africa Pearls cable? 2 Africa Pearls is a subsea cable system that connects Africa, Asia and Europe. It is an extension of 2 Africa cable system which was first announced in 2020. Lands in 46 cable landing stations across 33 countries. It has so many countries, all of these. Who's involved? Meta is involved. Bharati Airtel, Telecom Egypt, China Mobile International, MTN Global Connect, Orange, STC, Vodafone, West Indian Ocean Cable Company. Uses a unique design to address geological challenges in the region. Has a design capacity of up to 180 terabits per second on 16 fiber pairs. Yeah, just so you guys understand what terabits per second is, the internet connection that we get is like in mbps versus tbps. So 1000 bits per second is basically 1 kilobits per second. 1 million bits per second is basically 1 mbps. 1 billion is basically 1 gigabit per second, gbps. And bruh, this is 1 trillion. Yes, this is 1 trillion bits per second, which is 1 terabit per second. So let's say our speeds in general, average internet speed in India. Average internet speed in India varies depending on the type of connection, with mobile internet being faster than fixed broadband. Mobile internet, they say in India, is 94.62 mbps, which is false. Median upload speed is like 9.2 mbps, 9.02 mbps. Okay, so let's say on average, you can take it as, okay, here it says 6.5 megabits per second. Fine, let's say 10 megabits per second. 1 terabit per second is, so basically 1 lakh of them can use it every second because of that much data which is being like transmitted from the undersea cables. So 1 lakh people can be enabled to use 10 mbps of data in 1 second at any moment because of these cables. Okay, anyway, 2 Africa Pearls. Subsea cable system extends to Arabian Gulf, India and Pakistan. Okay, so that and India-Europe Xpress, IEX submarine networks, connects Mumbai to Europe and interconnects with the India-Asia Express in Mumbai to reach Singapore. Oh, so there's already an India-Asia Express. So this connects Mumbai to Europe and that which interconnects it to Singapore. So IEX lands in the Middle East and Africa, as well as through the Mediterranean Sea, with landings in France, Italy and Greece. Is built by Reliance Jio Infocom and is expected to be operational in 2024. Didn't happen, but Reliance Jio Infocom is building it. Amazing. Oh yeah, here you go. So this is IEX. This is where Mumbai is. So IEX covers this much full, and IAX is here, India Asia Express and India Europe Express. So these are the cable systems that exist here. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just very curious. I want to check the budget of this. In hundreds of millions of dollars, of course. Reliance Jio is taking it up because they see hundreds of millions of dollars in returns. But I just wanted to know if there is some number to it. Come on. Okay then. To put things in perspective, submarine cable networks carry over 99% of the all intercontinental communications traffic. The growth in digital economy is fueled and facilitated by a robust submarine cable infrastructure that connects India to key regions such as Southeast Asia, Europe, and Middle East, among others. India's internet user base exceeds 850 million, with increasing consumption of high-definition video streaming, cloud services, and digital commerce, which requires large bandwidth and low latency. Being a major outsourcing hub and global IT service provider, India depends on reliable and high-capacity international connectivity. That is true. Yeah, new undersea cables activation in 2025 to push India's data transmission capacity 4x. The TRAI chairman says it's going to push it 4x. Said on Friday while speaking at a telecom industry event, Digicom Summit, he said India plays a key role in global submarine cable network as it hosts around 17 international undersea cables, subsea cables across 17 district landing stations. As of end of 2023, the total lit capacity and activated capacity of these cables stood at 180 terabits per second and 132 terabits per second respectively. Multiple next generation systems are due to become operational in 2025, replacing aging cables. Once the new systems are fully operational, India's data transmission capacity is projected to quadruple with additional crucial routes. TRAI chairman said the contribution of the digital economy to nation's GDP has grown to about 12% of the GDP, which is estimated to reach 20% by 2026-27. Since the current growth rate of the digital economy is 2.8 times the GDP growth rate, growth rate of the digital economy is 2.8 times the GDP growth rate. Accordingly, the government aims for a $1 trillion digital economy by 2027-28. India's total GDP is 4 trillion at this moment. He said that the telecom user community has grown to about 1.2 billion, out of which 944 million are broadband users. One of the hallmarks is achieving over 100 times growth in rural broadband subscriptions in the last decades. 100 times growth in the last decade. In licensed service areas such as Assam, Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh East, the aggregate count of rural broadband connections is significantly higher than the aggregate count of urban broadband connections. This is amazing. He acknowledged the efforts of telecom operators in providing 4G coverage across 97% of the villages and 5G connectivity in over 99% of districts in the country. That is super speed internet which is being provided all over Bharata, India, which is amazing. So the TRAI chairman is Anil Kumar Lahoti. Just to give you guys some information about TRAI, it's the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, set up under the Section C, was established on 20th February 1997 by an act of the Parliament to regulate telecom services and tariffs in India. Earlier, regulation of telecom services and tariffs was overseen by the central government. It's a regulatory agency which completed 25 years in 2022. Yeah, let's go. More power to you, TRAI.